Steve Jewin, MMA Mania.
All right, Steve, here's Darrion.
Mr. Caldwell, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Thanks for taking the time today. I appreciate it. I know MMA Mania does. And let me ask you first, how are the preparations going for your fight with Rafael Silva?
They're going really good. This is the best camp I've had so far. I'm feeling strong. I'm walking around at a good weight. So preparation right now is going as planned.
Well, you say you're walking around at a good weight, but this is going to be your first Bellator fight at bantamweight, so it's got to be a little different for you making the cut this time around.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be different. My first 6 fights, they're all at 45, and there was really no dieting to it. So definitely had to change my diet up, and already I've seen drastic changes. So things are going good,
But you're not worried about giving up any strength or power then by cutting down to 135, are you?
Not really. I feel like I'm still going to be as strong as I would be at 45 and as powerful, I don't think there's going to be any difference.
Well, you're undefeated so far. You won all of your legacy fights. You won all of your Bellator fights. So at 6-0, I don't mean this to sound like an obvious question, but maybe it is. What can you do to get better when you're already undefeated?
Well, just continue to train hard, and I'm still super new to the sport. I'm going on my 3rd year, in September, in terms of competing in MMA. So there's a lot I have to learn about the sport still, and a lot of ground to make up. So I'm just growing daily. I live in the gym, so it's not. It's a part of me, it's a lifestyle, and I'm just taking it day by day.
Well, it's kind of been a lifestyle for a while, right? You were a very dominant collegiate wrestler, so I feel like you almost had that built in coming into MMA.
Yeah, wrestling, in over 400, 500 tournaments, it definitely gave me a leeway to know what I have to do to reach the top of this sport as well,
Would you say wrestling is the strongest part of your MMA game?
I'd say my wrestling is definitely the best aspect. I'd say just my overall grappling is really right where I want it to be for this fight. Everything else is coming along. Definitely my strongest point is wrestling, but I'm working in every area, so I have no holes in my game.
That's good. Now, you mentioned that you're relatively young as a professional in the sport, and you've got less fights than in the mixed martial arts world than Rafael Silva. You've had more tournaments probably than he has. So when you consider those two things balanced together, do you feel like he has an experience edge, or maybe you have an experience edge?
Yeah, I feel like there's no real experience edge here. We're both, I'm sure he had a bunch of tournaments, and despite his record, and despite mine, I feel like I've been in just as many competitions as he has. So.
That's fair. Now, what do you look at when you scout Rafael Silva? What do you think, this is the thing I need to look out for the most in our fight?
He's pretty dynamic. I have to just mainly stick to my game plan, not focus on what he's doing, as opposed to what I have to do to get this W, and then stay on top of him and beat him up.
Sounds like a pretty good game plan. Now, do you feel anything's different when you not only take a fight at bantamweight, but you take a fight that's going to be on Spike TV as opposed to the prelims?
Not so much. It's just another fight for me, just on a different platform and a bigger platform for me to showcase my abilities to the world,
True. But it does definitely get you something that you've probably wanted for a while. It's like, it's time to be seen by the world, not just on Spike.com, which, a lot of people tune in for those prelims, and I'm one of them, but it's got to be nice knowing that you get that exposure.
Exactly. I'm greatly blessed to have a promotion behind me, such as Bellator. They're a huge promotion, the best out there, and for them to get behind me and say, hey, we're going to give you an opportunity to showcase your skills to the world, is just a blessing. I'm extremely grateful for that. I'm ready to showcase what I have and make sure it's first of many, 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 many.
Well, speaking of first of many, if things go well in the bantamweight debut, do you plan to stay at bantamweight for the future? Maybe make a bantamweight title shot at some point?
What was that? I didn't hear the last part. Make a what?
Oh, if you are successful in the debut at bantamweight against Rafael Silva, would you down the line want to go for a bantamweight title shot?
I definitely want to get that belt. That's my main goal. Ever since I came in the sport of MMA is to be a world champ, you know, and Bellator gave me the opportunity. And I felt like going down to 135 would help possibly speed up the process, you know. Went 3-0. I feel like the 45-pounders were a little stronger, and I think this is going to be a perfect chance for me to go ahead and attain my goals and as soon as possible.
So this is more of a permanent move then. You're not going to try to be like a champion in 2 weight classes.
Well, I definitely want to be a champion in more than 1 weight class. After I get the title at 135, whatever Bellator, you know, has in store for me, if they feel like, hey, we think you can, we want you to be a double title holder and, you know, be that guy, then I'm ready to take responsibilities and step up and do that as well.
Yeah. Well,
once the time arrives, you know, once the time comes around, you know.
Right. Well, you wouldn't have an easy road in either division with the current champions. I mean, you got Marcos Galvão, who we just saw submit Joe Ward, one of the nastiest submissions I've ever seen, and we all know what Pitbull Frary is capable of at featherweight. So you got a couple of tough Brazilians in either weight class.
Yes, sir. Bellator is top notch, you know. Wherever you go in the organization, the top 5 guys are really solid, and they all have championship or title holder. They all have the ability to be the champ, you know. If you look at the weight class here at 35 and 45, you know, there's been like 3 or 4 different champs in like the last 2 years, you know, in each weight class. So it's definitely a lot of definitely stiff competition, but I feel like it's wide open for me to come take it.
Yeah, it is super competitive. You're right about that. And they're signing new talent all the time. So that's also got to be something you keep your eye out on is, you know, you're undefeated, you're on the rise, but there's a lot of young guns who are coming in behind you looking to take your spot.
Yeah, for sure. And I consider myself that young gun right now. I got my eye on the prize, and whoever's in the way is just got to get dealt with accordingly.
Dealt with accordingly. I like that. That shows a lot of confidence. So obviously, you're brimming with confidence for this fight with Rafael Silva. No worries about how the fight's going to go for you.
No, again, it's just another fight for me. Even though, you know, the platform is a little bigger and the stakes are higher. And for me, I've been in this situation thousands of times. So for me, it's just another day to show out my talents, you know.
Let's play Fantasy Booker for just a second then. Again, we're going to assume things go well with Rafael Silva. Do you have a guy next in mind? I mean, if they don't give you that title shot right away, which, you know, arguably you might get a couple of wins at bantamweight before you get that title shot, who would you want to fight next after Rafael Silva?
Well, I've been hearing a lot of talk about me and LC Davis. But you know, I mean, there's a lot of guys at 35. You know, I've been hearing a lot about Joe Warren and LC Davis, Joe Warren, and whoever. I mean, the top 5 guys are pretty much the guys that I want to fight. You know, whoever I have to fight in the top 5 to get to the title is what is I'm willing to do it. You know, I'm not here to call out guys. I'm here to fight. You know, Bellator is going to pick the guys that I fight, and I'm just going to go with it.
You're happy to let Bellator make the matchups. If you did have a preference between those two, I mean, we saw LC Davis have like a fight of the year candidate with Hideo Tokoro, and we know Warren's been a super competitor in Bellator for years now. So of those two guys, you know, which one would you like them to match you up with?
Well, it doesn't really matter to me. They both have a wrestling background. They both have a solid stand-up game, and either one I feel like would be a good test for me to see if I'm ready to face that Marcus Caldwell guy and be champ.
All right, that's fair. So I want to give you a chance to give a shout out to anybody you want at this time. Your sponsors, teammates, trainers, any nutritional supplements, things like that you want to plug. I want you to go ahead at this time.
I'd like to thank first Dr. Kessler. I'd like to thank my coaches and my doctors and everyone who's supporting me. And Ink Fiend, and it's been a long journey for me in terms of my career as a competitor, and everyone, it's been ups and downs, and those who stuck by me, I greatly appreciate it. My family has been a huge part of my development and growth in the sport and life, and so I just want to thank them for everything.
Very good. And what about social media? If people want to keep following you on your journey, your young gun career as it continues to grow and evolve, what's the best way for them to keep up with you online?
Best place would be Instagram and Twitter. I'm the Wolf_MMA. Follow me there, and you can just stay in tune with my career and my training and my road to the World Championship.
Well, that reminds me, I had one more question before I let you go today. How did you get the nickname the Wolf in the first place?
Well, in college, I guess my senior year, there was an article of the one-man wolf pack. I almost felt like it was a shot at my team, but more than anything, it was a tribute to me, what I did, and the work and the effort that I put in throughout my lifetime, and I kind of took that one-man wolf pack and made it the Wolf, being a alumni from NC State, I kind of used that and set off that, and now I'm the Wolf.
Yeah, it works on both levels. It represents your school, and it reminds everybody just how hungry you are.
Yes, sir. 100%.
Well, I know you're hungry for that fight with Rafael Silva, and it's coming up in May for Bellator. It's going to be a fantastic fight, and I'm sure you're going to put on a great performance on May 15th. So we look forward to seeing you on television. And Mr. Caldwell, thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
All right. My pleasure.